AITA for telling my wife she can't have it both ways? We've been married for 9 years, we're in our 30s and have 2 kids. For the most part, one think our relationship is great. We don't really struggle with jealousy or insecurity or the like usually, until recently. I know this makes me sound horrible, but I never really got along with one of her friend groups. These are some of her work friends she started hanging out with about a year ago. Nothing really against them, just didn't really think it was my crowd. It's 2 married guys and 2 women who are divorced, one recently so, and the few times I came along with my wife to their hangouts it was mostly work talk I didn't find particularly interesting. So usually I just stay home and care for the kids to save money on the sitter and let my wife go, but I was clear with my wife that I just didn't really enjoy that particular group, and while I encourage her to go out and socialize, I just didn't want to come. She was fine at first, but then the group started pressuring her into bringing me as the guys started bringing their wives around and one of the gals found a partner, so she was feeling awkward coming without me. We argued for a bit, but after a few times she said it was important to her that I come, so I agreed. Well, to my surprise it turned out I get on really well with one of the guys' wives. We just hit it off immediately because we're a very similar type of geek, so we just talk about TV or movies or anime while the others did their thing. I thought I cracked the code, because now whenever spouses were invited to the hangouts I could show up and have a good time, and I thought it'd make my wife happy. It did not. Instead of her being happy that I'm coming, she's now acting jealous and saying that it's weird how close I'm getting to that woman. I told her it's not weird, she's just the one person I get along with well in that group outside of herself. My wife asked if I would make more of an effort to not just interact with her, and I said no. I again said that the choice was hers, she could invite me to the hangouts or not invite me, and I would respect it. Moreover, I'm not actually close to that woman. I don't have her number, we aren't connected on socials, I genuinely have no contact with her outside of the group. But if my wife is going to insist I come to these things, I'm not going to force myself into having a worse time. My wife said I'm an asshole for not putting her needs and wants first, but I told her that's selfish to claim, because she's basically telling me to put myself last regularly so she can both get to bring me to these hangouts, but also discourage me from enjoying myself when I come. It seems controlling and petty. So I just again said she can decide if she wants me there or not, but she does not get to dictate how I behave. So am I the asshole? First, I suppose I should mention for context that my wife and her friends are all MDs or PhDs, and teach at a university, where my wife started teaching after getting her own master's degree in public health. She was already an M.D. Shop talk, in this context, means a lot, and I do mean a lot, of very funny stories about how their stupid grad student left cell cultures at the wrong temperature or some such, or how bad the doctors getting their board certification are this year. I genuinely did to take interest, but I can't, not for long. I genuinely cannot participate in these conversations in a meaningful way, and whenever I try talking to some of these people about other stuff it just doesn't click. I see the lack of interest. Then they sort of drift back to their own conversation. That's why I didn't feel like I should come from pretty early on. So with that in mind, we discussed why she felt it was important that I come despite them clearly not actually enjoying my company, and me not enjoying theirs. So turned out one of those friends jokingly said she thought my wife, married down, because I only have my bachelor's degree and never even considered doing anything more, while my wife basically excels at everything she tries, and I'm very proud of her. And just made her feel insecure because she was embarrassed by me talking about immature stuff around her hinky educated, well-read friends. I told my wife I think her friend sounds bitter and I don't have to prove my worth to her. To be clear, I own my own business, it's doing well and it allowed me to support my wife through school, many years of school, and make my own hours while she worked ridiculous hospital hours while at the same time working on her thesis, so that I could take care of our kids and home, which I mostly paid for because for most of our life together I was making much more than her. I do now as well, but by a far smaller margin. Also, we cleared up that outside that joke it wasn't really a prevalent issue, but it was made worse by that guy's joke about me and his wife hanging out being a playdate. So having discussed this, it does seem to mostly be stemming from some insecurities on my wife's part. Conversation was a bit tense, but I still maintain that I'm willing to go to the hangouts with her if she wants, but I still refuse to be something I'm not or be made to feel inadequate for what I am or try to prove my maturity to her friends. I'm a good husband, I'm a good father, I'm happy with the life I have, and I thought she was as well, which she reassured me she was. So with that in mind, we decided that we'll decide on future attendance on a case-by-case basis. But obviously there's no easy solution to her feeling insecure, so that's something we still need to work on. At least I know she didn't think I was being unfaithful, which is reassuring. If this story kept you hooked, give it a like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more.